Good morning. Did you just wake up? Did you get some good sleep? Say hi.
Good morning. Let me just tell you, it's Wednesday. It's May 21st, and it's 5:10 in the morning because I got to go into the office today. But this is the first time I've picked up my camera. Oh, let me start by saying hello. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Tabitha, and I'm the maker and creator behind Safari Stitches. And I mostly do crochet content on here, so if that sounds like something you're interested in or would like to see more of, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button on this video to let me know you're enjoying it. And if you're working on anything while I'm yapping my head off over here, make sure to let us know in the comments what you're doing. Yeah, this is the week leading up to my trip. And how I usually, and I just kind of want to talk about taking vacations while you own a small business. I also just want to apologize for the lighting in advance. I know it's not great, but like I said, it's 5 o'clock in the morning, so there's nothing coming from outside. We're relying purely on some very terrible overhead lighting. So essentially, one of the best things, obviously I have a daytime job, so like an office job in addition to this, so this doesn't necessarily apply to me, but the one thing that I love about having a small business is that I can make money while I'm out of town, especially because I write and sell my own patterns, and I actually have a pattern releasing on Friday before we go out of town, so I'm really hoping that maybe it'll do fairly well, but I guess that's one of the biggest bonuses to having a small business, especially an online one, is you can make money while you're gone. But the other thing is you can just go out of town and you don't have to ask for permission, nothing. So I personally, this is not necessarily my favorite part, but it's definitely a really, really nice perk, is being able to go out of town on a moment's notice. We've been planning this for months, so it's not really a moment's notice for me, but you get what I'm saying. It's early and I haven't finished my coffee. I also just dumped a quarter of my coffee onto the ground by mistake because my pant leg got stuck. It got all over my sleeve. I'm just having a morning today. So I'm just glad I wasn't holding anything important that didn't need to get splashed with coffee, because that would have been very, very upsetting for my Wednesday morning. But essentially how I handle going out of town, and if you've been watching for a while, you know that I have a website and I have an Etsy shop. So my Etsy is already set up to give me quite a while to process orders and get them shipped out. So at this point, if somebody were to place an order today, Wednesday, it would not need to ship until after we get back from vacation. And that's a really great way to not have to shut your shop down while you're gone, is just extending your shipping and handling time, and then have an announcement in the shop announcement section saying hey, I will be on vacation from X date to X date. I will be available to answer questions as possible, but nothing will ship until X date. And then that also kind of reaffirms people hey, this is not going to ship on time. If you need it next week, it's not going to ship on time, type of thing. That's really the biggest thing. My website, I have not done that, but I don't really make that many sales on my website. If I do, it's because I've directed them to my website to make a purchase. And in those cases, I have more than likely already told my customer, hey, I am out of town, but here's this. It will not ship until X date, and then they purchase it or whatever. So that's kind of the biggest thing of how I prepare, is I just extend things, because what I have found on Etsy, and I did a whole Etsy versus Shopify video I think it was at the beginning of this year. If that's something that you would be interested in, I can link it below. I don't think I covered vacations and stuff in there. There is a vacation mode setting on Etsy that you can set, and it basically removes all of your listings from your page. So if somebody goes to your shop and says, hey, this shop is taking a break, blah, 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 whatever. I don't recommend it because I have found that unless it's going to be a very extended time frame, that's kind of how I handle it. It's pretty, I mean, there's nothing special about it. I don't do anything crazy like hire somebody to fulfill my orders for me or anything. It's just me over here, and I just extend that shipping time. Anyways, as I was saying, we are leading up to my week-long trip, so I'm going out of town. This week is purely about getting things done and off of my to-do list for while I'm out of town, because I really don't want to have to worry about any of this. So as of this minute right now, I have 7 open Loaf Cat orders on Etsy to make. One doesn't have to be shipped until June 2nd, but she purchased it yesterday. June 2nd, I think, is the Monday. And in theory, I could get back Sunday and make it that night and ship it, but I wanted to just go ahead and get it done and shipped out. So I'm probably going to try and get all of those done. I also have a pattern test for Nerdy Knits. I'll pop up her username here. She picked me for a pattern test. It's 2 snugglers, which honestly was probably a little bit more than I should have taken on this week with everything else I've got going on. First, I'm going to start with the Loaf Cats. I have got 3 finished out of the 7, which is exciting because I'm almost halfway there. And I was halfway there until the person bought one yesterday. So the first one, and I've already heard back from the customer, it's just a really simple black and white kitty with a white chest, belly, and paws. That was super quick to pump out. Gold eyes. It does have a black nose. You just can't see it against the black, and this lighting is obviously not that great. So this one is finished, and I'm about to package it up. I can't take it to the post office today because I don't get off till 4 and my post office closes at 4. So it'll go out. All of these will go out tomorrow. The second one that this is actually the third one that I finished last night. It's just I think they're called snowshoe Siamese, but it has a dark face, dark ears, dark tail, and then a lighter, like tannish, creamy colored body. And then the snowshoe has, I think that's what it's called. I've learned so much about different breeds of cats doing these Loaf Cats. It's unbelievable. But it has white paws. That's like the snowshoe or whatever. I need to send pictures to my customer of this one because I just finished it last night. I forgot to send them before I went to bed last night. Otherwise, I would get them packed up. And then this is the third Loaf Cat that I finished. And this is a little orange tabby named Goose. How freaking adorable is that? And he's missing an eye. So he, of course, is missing an eye on the plushie as well. But this one I finished a couple days ago. I did send pictures. I haven't heard back yet. So those are the 3 that I have finished. So let's talk about pattern tests. So I got picked at the beginning of this week by Nerdy Knits. Again, I'll pop up her Instagram here so you can go check her out. She wrote patterns for a Winnie the Pooh and a Piglet. I am starting to dabble in the characters, but I don't recommend selling anything online that has a copyright or a trademark of any sort, especially when it comes to Disney. I'm just going to leave it there. I don't want to have like an argument over it. Disney is ruthless and they have a lot of money and a lot of lawyers. So I'm just going to leave it at that. But I did make the little Winnie the Pooh snuggler, and it came out so, I wish the lighting was better, but so adorable. He's so cute. I'm obsessed with him, but this is a snuggler. You could probably stuff this. I actually want to make a second one and see what it looks like fully stuffed as well. And then, I don't know, but I did just like solid black embroidered eyes, just kind of after the character, a little embroidered nose. This one is, I would say this is low sew. Well, there's 4 pieces to sew on, So I don't know that it's really low sew, but it's definitely a lot less sewing. You crochet the legs and the arms into the body as you work, and then the body and the head is all one piece. So you do have to crochet the ears and the nose separately and sew them on. And I actually realized last night that I forgot to put his tail on, so I still need to make his tail and sew that onto the back. But there's 4 pieces to sew, but the pattern is super cute. It works up super quick. It's a great size. This is probably like a $35 snuggler for me. I don't know if you make Della Ducks, like this regular size Della Ducks, it's the same size as the Della Ducks. So just to give a size perspective, but that is finished. So I finished the first one. I sent her final photos. She's got those. I still have to make Piglet. I started on it last night. It's just as cute. I'm excited to finish that tonight, probably. My next Loaf Cat orders are not scheduled to go out until the 28th. I mean, obviously, I'm going to be out of town, but I'm probably going to spend tonight working on the Piglet, and I've been doing a little bit of market prepping because I am going to pick up a market in June, even though it's going to be swelteringly hot. I have decided that I'm going to do that. All of that to say, I'm going to jump off here because it's now 5:30. I've been talking for 20 minutes and I have a package I need to pack up and get shipped out today. So I'm going to get that done, and then it's time for me to get ready for work. So that's my update at the current moment. I'll probably see you guys later while I'm working on Piglet and then doing a little bit of market prepping. And then I'll touch base with you probably tomorrow again. I don't know. We're just kind of going to see where this video takes me. So that's all I got right now. Okay. Hello, friends. I am coming to you on... Wow, that was so formal. I'm just dropping things. Hold on. Oh. Oh gosh. Are you okay? She woke up, choked, and then went back to sleep. Are you good? Sleeping on the job per usual. Anyways, I am coming to you on a Thursday morning. We are less than 24 hours. Well, no, not quite. 24 hours away from when I am leaving to go out of town. And I have a lot to get done still. But I wanted to come on and give you guys an update really quick because I have gotten a couple of things finished. And then we're going to talk about a plan of attack for today and tomorrow morning. We're leaving probably around 3:30 tomorrow afternoon. It is currently 8:45 in the morning on Thursday. So this is my update. I got one more Loaf Cat finished. I've sent pictures. I'm waiting to hear back from my customer. It is a gift. I have a pickup set up for today. I was really hoping that I would hear back from her today. I switched gears quickly to knock out my pattern test. I really tried to get it done earlier this week, and I just didn't have time because I was trying to get a Loaf Cats. Anyways, but I finished Piglet. Look how cute he is. Oh, I'm obsessed. Let me grab Pooh. Look how cute they are. I love them so much. I grew up watching Winnie the Pooh. Like, it's got so much nostalgia and memories for me. I just remember I used to be obsessed with Honey on Toast, and I would literally sit there as a kid and watch Winnie the Pooh all the time and just eat Honey on Toast. That was like my breakfast, and I would watch it while I was watching breakfast. And then, like, I remember the up, down, touch the ground, you know, that song. Anyways, I don't know. I have so much nostalgia around Winnie the Pooh, so I'm excited that I got picked. But again, these 2 patterns are by Nerdy Knits, and by the time this video goes up, they will be available. I will link them in the description below so you can go grab yourself a copy. They're pretty well written. They work up fairly quickly. Winnie the Pooh, like I said, you have to sew on the nose, the ears, and the tail to the back. The rest is all worked in one piece. So you crochet the legs and the arms into one place or into place while you're crocheting the body. And then for Piglet, again, you crochet the legs and the arms into the body as you work your way up, and then the ears and the little triangle nose are sewn into place when you're done. So, and I chose to embroider them. She sells felt eyes, or if you cut your own felt eyes, you can use felt eyes for those as well. But yeah, I'm really excited. So that leads me to the plan for today. So I have 4 open orders on Etsy right now, one of which I just showed you that's finished. I have 3 more to go. I've started one. So I'm probably going to... Sorry, I'm getting distracted because I'm trying to look around to see if there's anything else I need to get done today. I'm probably going to switch back to Loaf cats and try and get them knocked out as quickly as possible and get pictures sent over to my customers so that I can get them out the door. It would be ideal for me to be able to package them up tonight and then have a pickup set up for tomorrow. So, well, I could go to the post office tomorrow because I need to take my dog to the vet anyways. So, either way, that's kind of my plan at the current moment. Hold on. I do have some things that I've got to get done for work. So that's going to obviously take some priority today. And then Loaf cats. Those are my 2 priorities at the current moment. I'm really hoping I can get these last 3 Loaf cats knocked out today. That would be spectacular if I could do that. So I'm going to quit yapping and get to work on these Loaf cats, and I will check back in with you guys once I have something to update you on. Oh my gosh. Okay. I was expecting this to be delivered over the weekend while I was out of town, but I just got a super cute package from Up Cupcake, Christine. I'm excited. I did some damage, you guys. So she makes her own safety eyes, and I've never actually bought hand-painted safety eyes. I still use the Sinker eyes with the glitter discs. I've been wanting to make my own safety eyes, and I probably will. I have all the supplies I need to make them. I just haven't had the time to do it. So I figured she was talking about, she just released a bunch of ACOTAR eyes recently. And I'm an ACOTAR girly. That was the first series that got me into reading fantasy and romantasy books. So I, of course, was like, absolutely. And I love Christine. So if you don't watch her videos, she is here on YouTube. You can follow her on Instagram. I will also link her website below. So if you want to grab yourself a pair of these safety eyes, you can. But I'm going to open it. First off, Christine, where did you get these boxes from? Because these are so cute and they're so sturdy. Look. Ah! Oh dear. Look at how cute the packaging is. First off, I just want to say this little cat paper clip is absolutely adorable. I'm kind of obsessed. Everything about this is fun so far. So, cute little business card, and I will... There we go. Here's her business card, and if you want to screenshot the information on the back, there you go. I'm super excited. Oh, Christine, thank you for the cute little note. Packing slip, which is always super handy because I don't actually remember how much I spent. But for tax purposes, it's always good to have a receipt. There is a little baggie of freebies. There's a little pin of a pigeon that says "Too Coo," which is pretty funny. A sticker. And I'm assuming this is a safety eye tool, which is super fun. Did you 3D print this yourself? Because if you did, I'm impressed. And what a neat idea. Oh my gosh. They're so pretty. Wow. Okay. Oh, there's so much in here. Oh my gosh. I don't even know where to start. Okay. So these are the Akatar, and I ordered 20 millimeter because I use a lot of 20 millimeter with most of my plushies. So that's kind of what I gravitated towards. I honestly am now thinking I need to get some more in larger sizes because I'm going to do my best. So this is Nesta. It's kind of like it's got a little bit of a mix of colors in there, but the background is like this really pretty, like purple gray, like a purple gray blue almost. Sarah. Really, really pretty blue, like an ice blue. That would be really pretty on like a dragon or like my new axolotl pattern if I made it in a different yarn. Night Court, I mean, it's like a really, really dark purple color. I'm obsessed. Sorry if this is not coming across on camera very well. Azriel is a blue, like a darker blue than Feyre. So pretty. Resand is also another shade of blue, but it's kind of in between, oh my gosh, come on, in between Night Court and Feyre. Very pretty. And then Gwyn, these are gorgeous. This is the one that I was most excited about when I saw the pictures of it. Those colors, it's just so pretty. They kind of pop. Okay, next bag. There's so many safety eyes. Oh my gosh. Lucian is like this fiery orange. That is screaming dragon to me. Screaming it. This is Tamlin, which is kind of like a golden color with flecks of green in there. I really, really like these. And then I need to make sure I keep these together. And then I think this is the last one that I got of the Akatar, which I'm pretty sure I bought them all. So, like I said, I did some damage. But no regrets. And then this is Cassian, which is, it's kind of like a pinkish red, like a really, really dark pinkish red color. Really pretty. I really like these too. Okay, I have a couple more. These next few, so I got one in 20 millimeter. This is the pink champagne. This is so much prettier in person. I feel like the photos on the internet do not do this justice, and it's really hard to get it to come across on the camera, but these are gorgeous. And then I got two pairs of 25s. The first pair is this cherry blossom. There we go. There's little cherry blossom flowers in there. That is adorable. I feel like these would look really cute on a cow, like a strawberry lemonade cow or something. I don't know. That's kind of what I'm envisioning when I see that. And then I've never tried white pupil eyes before, but I got these. These are Peacock. Again, the photos don't do it justice. They are gorgeous. I'm obsessed. I love them. They're so pretty. And then, where'd they go? Oh, here they are. She sent some freebies because I don't think I ordered these. These look to be, I think these are also 25s. These are 25s as well. She sent me come on, pink, and it's kind of got like a purple, and I don't know, they're kind of flashing all sorts of different colors. Come on. Hold on. I dropped one. There we go. like golds, greens, purples. They're so pretty. And then this is the last pair of the safety eyes. And these are just like a really pretty shimmery green, and it has a little bit of like gold flecking in there. They're so pretty. Oh my gosh, I am so excited to use all of these. I don't know what I'm going to use them all for. I'm kind of tempted to do these in one of my axolotls because I think that would be insanely cute. Yeah. I'm leaning towards using, I've never used these before, but I really feel like my new pattern, the axolotl pattern that I have coming out or coming up. And then, of course, the backings are separate. And then in the bottom, there's another little extra surprise. She sent me some little Annie sticks. Oh, these are so cute. So there's just a, oh my gosh. Just a beaded one. This one's adorable. This one is a little koala bear. So cute. I usually use knitting needles for mine, like giant knitting needles. So I'm actually really excited to have some smaller ones to help me with some of my projects. So thank you so much, Christine. This was such a welcome surprise. I was literally so worried that I was going to have to wait until after I got back. And because I think it was saying online, the tracking was saying it wouldn't get here till Saturday. So I was like really bummed that I was going to have to wait until I got back to open these. But I'm so excited they came early. So thank you so, so much, my friend. And again, if you would like to treat yourself and do some damage like I did and get some safety eyes, check out the link below. I will share her website. For now, I need to get back to working on my loaf cats. Let me just show you where I'm at. This is where I'm at on the next loaf cat. I have 3 left to go. This is number 1 of 3. They wanted embroidered eyes on this one, so I'm going to do embroidered eyes. So I'm about to stuff it, get it closed, make the tail, put it together, and then I'll do all the embroidery details, get photos sent to the customer. Hopefully I hear back very quickly, and then we're going to move on to the next one. I'm really hoping I don't have very many complicated ones today. I'm just about to look. Hold on. So that's that one. I think this one was a little bit dark brown tabby will be fine. That's not too bad. And then the other one is a black and white tuxedo. So fairly straightforward. And then we will be done with the custom order madness. I need to go find homes for these safety eyes. And I will touch base with you guys when I have something to update you with. Hello, friends. It is now 11:03. This took me longer than I was hoping it was going to take. But the loaf cat is finished, and I did embroidered eyes on this one. So that's 1 of 3 done. I'm going to stop yapping, and I'm going to get back to work on these loaf cats. Like I said, I have 2 more to go. The next one is the dark brown tabby cat with black stripes, and then the black and white tuxedo cat after that. And then I will have wiped out all of my orders. I won't have anything open left on Etsy, and I'm way ahead. I think if anybody were to order something now, I wouldn't have to ship until like Wednesday or Thursday the following week after we get back, so I'm good to go. Yeah. Have I mentioned that I think I've hit my limit on the loaf cats? Like, don't get me wrong, I'm super grateful. They have made me quite a lot of money since like December, but I also have other things listed in my shop that I would love to sell. Like, I want to make a cow snuggler, or a Della duck, or even a cow plushie, or I don't know, just something different would be really nice. Oh, I just have to make it through 2 more, and then I get a break from loaf cats, which is really nice. So Anyways, that said, I'm going to jump off here and quit yapping. And again, I will check in when I have an update for you. Okay, we are now at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I haven't eaten lunch yet, so technically it hasn't been lunch yet. I think I said I wanted to have these loaf cats done by 12 o'clock this afternoon. Didn't happen, obviously. I'm an hour over. And I've got 2 done. So here's the second one. I love this color combination. This is the color Caramel by Premier Basics Chenille. I love it paired with the black. It looks so good. And the black is actually Bernat. I think it's the tweed. It's the black tweed. I love this color combination. The brown on the black is perfect. It did have a little white face, so I got the white face in there. That is done. I've sent pictures to my customer. Hopefully I hear back. I've already heard back from the first one, and she was good with it. So I'm going to pause really quick, get that packaged and out of the way, out of my office so that it doesn't get missed somehow. I don't know how it would because I've got to get all these Etsy orders out tomorrow. I have one more left. It's a black and white tuxedo, so I'm thinking that will take me probably an hour to get done, but I'm going to pause and have some lunch. I'm so tired, you guys. One more loaf cat. That's all that stands between me and being done with work, with crochet work this week. I can do it. We've got this. Okay, bye. I'm done. Oh gosh, I'm done. I finished. The cat is done. I'm excited. No more cats. We're done. This was the last one. I've made 3. I'm so excited. I'll show you guys all together. Let me grab all of the cats I have made today. All 3 done and dusted. I'm excited, if you can't tell. So, now that these are done, I need to send photos of this one still. I literally just finished sewing the tail on. I think my next plan of action is I need to kind of figure out what I can realistically take with me on the plane to work on. Because I think it's only a 3-hour flight, so it's really not that long of a flight. So I'm kind of thinking, like, I could bring the yarn to make maybe one snuggler, but I'm thinking the mini mons. I think we might do a little fun challenge to see how many mini mons. If you don't remember, this is the pattern I'm talking about. It's by Bekmadestudio. She sent it to me, and I'm really excited to make some. So I think what I might do is I have so much yarn that I think I could probably pull all the colors that I need to maybe, I might pick like 4 different ones to pack in my carry-on so I have them on the plane. So my plan is to pack all of my like essentials, like my scissors and all of that in this bag and then into my suitcase to go in the cargo hold of the plane. And then in my carry-on, I'm going to only take plastic, and then, so I'll have plastic hooks. I am going to take another little container full of like needles and stitch markers. I'm tempted to switch out my metal needles for plastic needles just to play it safe. I do have a few plastic ones in this little container here. So maybe I'll just switch them out for that and do it this way. And then I'm taking like big nail clippers with me instead of scissors on the plane because nail clippers are allowed. So I think that's going to be my next course of action, is starting to get things set aside to be packed in my carry-on, in my suitcase. I need to look at the pattern that I'm taking on the plane and make sure that I pick out the right colors for that. So that's where I'm at. I think I have decided that I am not going to as much as I really want to, I don't know that I'm going to work on my axolotl pattern while I'm out of town. I feel like that's a little bit more involved than I really want to be while I'm on vacation, and just save that for when I come back. With that said, I'm going to go send pictures of this guy to my customer, make sure she's good with it, and then get all 3 of them packaged up and ready to go for tomorrow because they need to go out the door. And then I'm going to pull up this pattern, take a look at it, see what colors I might need, decide which little mini mons I want to make on the plane, pull all the supplies that I need for that, get it. I need to find, I have another one that's slightly smaller than this that I can bring on the plane. So I need to locate that, get everything put away, packaged. I'm rambling at this point, but that's kind of my plan for the rest of today. And I will obviously check in with you guys once I figure out what all I'm bringing on the plane. We'll look at that, and then we'll just kind of go from there. Okay. Hi, friends. I am checking in. It is the next day. I spent all last night packing my regular suitcase, like my baggage, to be checked. I did include an extra little baggie of crochet hooks, needles, stitch markers, and an extra bag of stuffing for the week. I'm not taking a ton of stuffing. My thought process is if I run out of stuffing, I just run out and I'm not going to end up crocheting anything else. So it's really not a big deal. I basically took a gallon Ziploc and stuffed as much as I could in there and then got rid of all the air out of the baggie. So it's just like a flat, actually I can show you. Let's, go take a look without me showing you the mess. Oh, it's inflated itself because I didn't put it in there, but it's inflated itself, I guess, because they're not airtight. So, I'm going to just have to like squish all the air out of it again and stuff it into my suitcase. Oh gosh, I just wanted to jump on really quick. I've got all my orders packed up and ready to go. I'm going to take them to the post office here in about 10 minutes. And then I wanted to show you guys what I have packed in my carry-on because I may or may not have gone a little overboard. So let me flip you around and I will show you. So I've got bright orange, dark green, light blue, white, brown, yellow down here. And then these are the other colors. Well, for the mini mons, these are the other colors I'm taking. So more light blue just to use it up. A dark teal color, white, bright teal, and then a red. And then since I'm such a mood crocheter, I was like, well, what if while I'm there, I don't want to just make mini mons? So I was like, what else could I pack that I could make multiple things out of? And I decided to bring, because I've got this small amount of white left. So I picked out this really neutral, I think it's called Dove Gray by Bernat Blanket, and this pink, because I can make a mouse from Mama Made Minis out of this, and I can make May the Elephant out of this. I have had a hot pink May the Elephant for quite some time now, and it's just been sitting. People love it, but I'm guessing it's just a hot pink. It's going to take the right customer to come along and purchase that for a kiddo. So I need to make at least one neutral colored one. So I figured this would be a perfect time because I can make it while we're out of town, but I can also double task and make something else as well because, like I said, it's a very neutral yarn, so I could probably even get away with making a llama out of that. Like, there's a lot of options, so that's kind of my motivation behind picking that one. And then I have another, this one is a little bit more flat than the other one because it's been stuffed in between two books. But I have a little bit of stuffing to go in there as well. And then in this front pocket right here, I have a small container that has, I do have one metal needle in here, but I also have some plastic ones in case they confiscate the metal one. I'm not like crazy worried about it, but you never know. And then these are the safety eyes I'll be using for the mini ones. And then I've got my crochet hooks in here. This one is for the mini ones. I've seen mixed things about metal crochet hooks. So if that gets confiscated at the airport, which I don't think it will, but you never really know. I did bring, like I said, I brought my 7 and 8 as well. I'm pretty much packed. I have a couple of last minute things to grab and throw in the suitcase or my carry-on bag. And then aside from that, I'm ready to go. Like, I'm good. Good morning. Hello, my friends. I have missed you guys. I haven't filmed in a week. We have been out of town, as you already know. Please excuse the laundry hanging over the door. Excuse my voice because I did get a cold, and I'll explain all of that here shortly. But it is 8:16 on June 2nd. We got back yesterday. So first off, I just want to say happy June. I cannot believe we are this far into the year already. We're in the last month of the first half of the year. So a little stressed because I'm already thinking ahead to, I'm doing quarterly updates on my business, and I can already tell you that I am way behind where I need to be for the second quarter of the year. So I'm just thinking about all of that. But hello. I missed you guys. I miss filming, but it was really nice to take a break. If you are, I guess in this video, I will have said where we were going, but we went on a trip to Maine. We have never been before. It was basically my fiance and I do a travel draw every year. So we pick 3 places each. One place is drivable, one place is flying within the country, and one place is international. And we put all of those in a jar, and then the last one we basically pick the destinations out of the jar, and the last one standing is where we end up going. And Maine was our last one standing. And honestly, you guys, it's probably one of my favorite trips we have ever taken. I can't even lie to you. It was so great. I had a blast. I didn't want to come home, which is the sign of a good vacation. I could have done another week. It was just so nice. It was absolutely beautiful. If you've ever been to New England, I think New England in general, I've never been anywhere else except for New York City, which, it's New York City. So it's like one of those places. It's like a world of its own. We had an absolute blast. So I'll give you guys like a couple of, just like a little recap of our trip. If you want to skip this, maybe skip like 5-ish minutes. But I'm going to pop up some pictures and videos of some of the stuff that we did and experienced. And then I'm going to give you guys some travel tips because we flew out of Atlanta, which is probably one of the busiest, if not the busiest, airports. And I'll give you some travel tips because I did travel with my crochet stuff. So stay tuned for that. It's coming. So anyways, we flew out of Atlanta and we flew into Bangor, Maine, which I think from what I understood, it was their maiden flight to Bangor. So I don't think that was a full, basically, their first non-stop flight from Atlanta to Bangor, which was kind of cool. We flew Delta. First off the bat, it didn't start well because we landed and pulled into the gate to get off the plane, and they couldn't get the jet bridge to attach to the plane. So then, basically they overextended it. So they were trying to fix it, couldn't fix it. So then we had to move to a different gate to get off the plane. We were stuck sitting on that plane for an hour. So started off great. Aside from that, the weather wasn't super great when we first got there. It was cold and rainy. We got a rental car and we drove to Bar Harbor, which is about just over an hour's drive from the airport. And Bar Harbor is the cutest little coastal village, and we stayed in this adorable not Airbnb. It was an adorable bed and breakfast called the Queen Anne's Revenge, and it's a block off of the main street of the downtown area, but totally within walking distance. So we didn't drive at all while we were in Bar Harbor. We walked literally everywhere except when we went to Acadia, but it was absolutely adorable. The food was fantastic. Obviously, we ate lots of seafood while we were there. Tried lobster. There was a heavy Asian influence on the food, which I found really interesting. Lots of Indian food, Korean. I'm trying to think, just heavy Asian influence, which again, I found very interesting. It was delicious, though. I don't think I had a single bad meal while we were there. I will say expensive, very expensive to visit there. So save up if you decide to go on a trip to Maine, because wowzas. Anyways, the first day we were there, we went on one of the whale watching cruises on this massive boat, 270 people, I think, on the boat. We sat on the top, and when I tell you guys, it was so cold. I think it was 45 degrees the day that we went out, and then basically they say when you go out to sea to expect a 20 to 30 degree difference in the temperature. They weren't lying. I'll tell you that right now. They were not lying. As you can see, my face, it looks like I caught some sun. That's mostly wind chap from the boat. I had a beanie and an ear warmer and jackets, sweatshirt, layered up, but it was so cold. We did get to see whales. We saw a humpback whale, and then we saw a couple of finback whales, and I'll post some cool footage and videos and stuff here for you guys to see, because it was so cool. I have never seen whales before, aside from the beluga whales at the Georgia Aquarium, and I mean those are, and the whale sharks, but those aren't really whales. They're I don't really know. Anyways, so we saw those. It was a lot of fun. The scenery going out of the harbor was beautiful. Coming back, it started to rain, so it was a little miserable coming back from out to sea. I did not get seasick by some miracle. I did take motion sickness stuff before we got on the boat, because I do get car sick, so I was kind of prepared. There was a lot of people getting motion sick though while we were out there. I felt so awful for those people, because I know once you get sick from motion sickness, there's really no going back until you're no longer moving. So that was the first day, and then we spent the rest of the day just kind of walking around and shopping and just hanging out. The second full day that we were there, we actually went to Acadia National Park. Again, if you are an outdoorsy person and you enjoy hiking or just being outdoors in general, Acadia is absolutely stunning. Unfortunately, I wish we had another day in Bar Harbor, because we would have done 2 days in Acadia. I mean, you could do an entire week in Bar Harbor and you would find new trails and stuff to go hike without a doubt. But unfortunately, we didn't really have a whole lot of time to do a bunch of the trails and hiking and stuff, but we did do, I'm trying to think, Thunder Hole. There's a hike path that goes kind of it's a coastal path. I'll pop up the name of it. But we did Thunder Hole along there, and it goes to Otter Point. So we walked that whole thing, and then we went to Jordan Pond. Jordan Pond was stunning. Again, I'll pop pictures in here for you guys to see some of the scenery. It almost brought me to tears how beautiful it was. I couldn't get over it. It was just the water was just glass. You could see the reflection. I don't know. It just looked like a freaking painting. It was crazy. It was so beautiful. I've never seen anything like it in my life. And then unfortunately, and then we just kind of like drove through the park. We stopped at a couple of different places just to kind of walk around and explore. We really, really wanted to do the Beehive hike, which is basically like a vertical climb up the side of a mountain. And it was packed. It was Memorial Day weekend. It was absolutely packed. So that it was like, you could like see the trail, and it was just like people were just backed up trying to get up. So we just didn't even bother with that one, unfortunately. And since we were leaving the next day, we didn't really have time to go and do it. The other thing we didn't have time, which Christine at What's Up Cupcake Whimsical Craft, she recommended Cadillac Mountain, and we couldn't get reservations to do Cadillac Mountain either. So kind of bummed that we didn't do that. But overall, it was fantastic. Definitely my favorite part of the trip was Bar Harbor and Acadia National Park. I will be going back for sure. We will do it again. I would love to try going in the fall before it gets really cold. I'm thinking like end of August, September, like early September time is what I'm kind of thinking before it gets cold again. Anyways, from Bar Harbor, we drove down to Kennebunkport, which is another little coastal town. We stopped in Yarmouth. I have a friend that owns a little shop in the downtown area of Yarmouth. So if you're in vicinity of Yarmouth or Portland, Maine, go check out Attic and Eve's. In Yarmouth. It's downtown. It's super cute. She sells vintage gifts, all sorts of really fun stuff. And tell her you know me, because unfortunately she was out of town, so we didn't get to meet. But we've been internet friends for 5 years probably. And I was trying to surprise her and it failed. So tell her I sent you if you do go, but it's adorable. We went in there anyways. She had somebody else running the shop for her while she was gone, but the stuff in there, I mean, she curates the absolutely most incredible things. I'll try to post some pictures from her, like posting on Facebook so you guys can see, but if you're in the area, I highly recommend. She's fantastic and she works really hard and it's her baby. So we stopped there and then we went down. We had lunch in Portland that day and then we drove all the way to Kennebunkport to check in, and that was where we stayed for the rest of the week. We stayed in this adorable loft. It was like a little studio apartment, and it was big and fully stocked. And in Kennebunkport, it's more I guess, oriented to shopping. There's a lot of little boutiques and coastal shops and home decor. And I mean, it's really adorable, like some cute little coffee shops. We had coffee at mornings in Paris a couple of times, which was right across from where we stayed. So it was really easy to walk to. We also did another whale watching tour there. It was a smaller one. And it was Eco Adventures, I think, was the company we did it through, and it was only 20 people. I think it wasn't fully booked the day that we went, so there was only 15 of us, and we saw more humpback whales. So that was cool. We got to see seals. We saw a few lighthouses one lighthouse on that tour. I'm trying to think of what else. Sorry, I'm trying to like run through this because I've been talking for a while, but what else did we do? So the first day we were there, we did the whale watching tour and we did a little bit of shopping downtown. And then we also spent a day in Portland. We drove up to Portland. It was about an 45-minute drive from Kennebunkport to Portland. So we spent a day in Portland, just kind of driving around and exploring. We checked out Wells. We did Ogunquit, which is another one of the coastal towns, just a little bit further south from Kennebunkport. Ogunquit was really cute. They have a coastal path that you can walk all the way along or whatever. It's, again, beautiful. We got to watch people surfing, lots of wildlife. There was a small lighthouse there. We also went to see, I can't think of the names off the top of my head now, but we went to see this lighthouse. That was a little bit of a drive as well while we were in Portland. That one was a Portland one. But overall, it was just so interesting to see how these little coastal town villages kind of operate. I mean, obviously they are a little bit more geared towards tourism. So you've got a lot of lobster tours, because the whale watching tours, harbor tours, lighthouse tours, just all sorts of really neat things to go and do while you're there as a tourist. Lots of local shops. I mean, the food is just unbelievable. It's so good. Again, it was very expensive. Obviously, I did get a cold, and it was just because of that first whale watching trip that we went on, because it was so cold. Like, I felt chilled to my bone all that day, even after getting off the boat. So it was, I just overdid it, unfortunately, but it's fine. So with that said, let's talk about my travel tips for you guys, because I successfully traveled, and like including my crochet stuff on the plane. So I'm going to get into that with you really quick. My top tips. So I did ask over on my Instagram what you guys recommended or what I should take, whether it's like a bunch of small projects that I could crank out really quickly or large projects to take on the plane. It was kind of a toss-up, so I brought both. So I had a backpack that I took as my carry-on, and it was literally stuffed to the brim full of yarn. I took I don't have them in here with me, but I use clover hooks. So I had a 6.5 millimeter metal clover hook, and then a 7 and an 8, and the 7 and 8 in clover are plastic. So I had 2 plastic hooks, 1 metal hook. I took a small case of stitch markers that had all of my plastic stitch markers. I also took my metal tapestry needles, the bent ones. I did include some plastic tapestry needles in case they took the metal ones when I went through the TSA checkpoint or security or whatever. The other big tip that I have is nail clippers. And that sounds weird, but instead of taking my nicer metal scissors, I did include those in my suitcase that I checked, but on the plane, I just took a big pair of metal nail clippers. Worked like a charm. It was so easy. I mean, I didn't have any problems using them whatsoever. I will say on the way there, we flew economy, so we were just kind of in the main cabin. The space is so tight. It was really inconvenient to try and crochet. So I actually only crocheted for maybe 20 minutes of the flight, because I had the tray down to have my iPad on. But every time I needed to switch colors, I had to like pick up my iPad, put the tray up, reach under my seat, pull out the next color, crochet, and it was just really tedious and annoying. So if you're flying economy in the main cabin, it probably would be easier to take projects that don't require a bunch of color change, or even projects that you don't have to look at the pattern for. But I was doing a new pattern, so I had to have the pattern pulled up. So that is kind of my only thing. I did take a Ziploc full of stuffing with me in my carry-on as well. I basically stuffed as much as I could in there and then squeezed out all the air and stuck it in my bag so it didn't take up too much space. What else? Those are kind of my biggest tips, is pick things that don't take that many colors. Like if you could stick to 1 to 2 colors for your projects that you're taking on the plane, that would be a lot easier than what I did. And I make mostly amigurumi, so I had a baggie of safety eyes, I had the stuffing, I had all the colors I needed to make all of the items, and it was just one of those things that was a little tedious. On the way back, I upgraded us to Comfort Plus, so there was a lot more space in front of me, and that was a lot easier to crochet. So I did actually crochet the whole flight back pretty much. But let's talk now about what I made while I was on vacation. So on my trip, like I said, I took small projects and then I took yarn to make 2 big projects. I picked big projects that would use the same colors, so I didn't have to pack as much yarn. The small projects, unfortunately, it was 3 different patterns that I chose to make, and they all had different colors, so I had a lot of yarn. I only crocheted a little bit on the way there. I just kind of crocheted a little bit in the evenings when we were winding down after long days or whatever. So I got a decent amount done, honestly. I can't lie. I'm actually quite shocked at how much I got done. So the projects I decided to take with me are Bekmadestudio. It is her Mini Mon patterns. I took the one that has, she calls them different things. I know one is the water turtle, I have the fire lizard, and I can't think of what the other one was called. The other one is called the grass toad. So those were the 3, but in this pattern pack, there's also Togepi, a Snorlax, a Fampi, and a Mew. So anyways, grass toad, obviously, Bulbasaur. I made 5 of these guys, which I am so impressed. They worked up so quickly, very minimal from like a sewing perspective. This got sewn on this guy, and then the embroidered details above the eyes, again, worked up super quick. I am obsessed with these patterns. So I've only done 3 of them. My goal is to have 5 of each of these in little baskets on display and basically make a sign that says like, choose your Pokemon, and then have a basket full of the Pokeballs and then 1 basket of each different type of Minimon. She has a couple of other different pattern. I think there's 1 more pattern pack that she has available. I will link both of them below for you if you are interested. They're so cute. They're just so little and adorable, and they work up so quickly, and I love them so much. So I made 5 of the Bulbasaur or the grass toad. The next one was the water turtle, which is obviously Squirtle. I made 5 of these guys too. Again, very minimal sewing. The only thing you have to sew on is the shell to the back, and then you do sew the tail in place so that it's kind of curled around the shell. But I made 5 of these guys, and again, adorable, worked up super quick. I love it. And then I made the fire lizard, which is so cute. Look at his little tail. I don't have any red fur yarn, so I did just use regular red yarn. But again, super adorable, super quick. This one is no-sew, so you crochet this and then you crochet the tail into the body. Again, super quick make, super adorable. I made 5 of those. So basically, I was able to finish 15 Minimons while I was on vacation, which was actually a lot more than I was expecting to get. So after that, I just kind of wrapped those up because that was all the yarn that I took. But on the plane back, I crocheted pretty much the entire time. So let me go show you what I made on the plane. All right, so for the plane, I made or started making a May the Elephant by BK Crochet. Again, I will link this below. I got the arms, feet, and the body finished, and both of the ears, and then we were told that we needed to put our trays up and get ready to land back in Atlanta. So I didn't have time. I mean, I probably could have gotten most of the head finished as well, but I just decided to pack it up and just get ready to get off the plane. But I got quite a lot done. So all I have left to do is the head. So that's kind of what I'm going to be working on today, is just getting this guy finished and in my basket and ready to be inventoried. Let me just give you a quick business/market update. I did go ahead and sign up for a market at the end of June. So you have some more content coming up. As for the plan, obviously this comes out today. It's probably going to be posted a little bit late because it's almost 9 o'clock and I have a lot to get done today. So it's probably going to be a little bit late, but this is coming out today. Then I have, the other thing. So my Etsy, I didn't shut my Etsy down while I was gone. I had a pattern release last weekend for my Haven the Hippo pattern. So that is up. I will also link that below if you are interested in the hippo pattern. And then I did leave my Etsy open. I extended my shipping time. So if people purchase, it didn't have to be shipped until after I got back. I have 8 open orders on Etsy right now. So I made 8 sales. All of them are Loaf cats. So that's what? 8 times... That's $240 that I made while I was on vacation, which is obviously that's before the fees, so don't take that with a grain of salt. So yeah, that was really nice, but I have 8 orders now to get out. I think the first 2 have to be shipped by the 6th, which is in 4 days. So and then I have 1 that needs to be shipped out on the 7th. So I have 3 that need to go out this week. So that's kind of going to be my priority today, is getting those done. But I just wanted to give you guys that update as well. I have a market coming up. So we're going to be doing custom orders and market prepping for the next couple of weeks. And then obviously the market recap and all the fun stuff. And then I'm hoping in the next couple of months to actually wrap up my office space and then do an office tour coming up soon. And then we're going to be getting into fall, which is scary to think about. So, because the fall is obviously my busiest time. So I need to start thinking about the market prepping and what that's going to look like. Stock up on beanies and ear warmers, and yeah. So that is my update for you guys. I know this was crazy and all over the place. I thought I was going to end the video before I left to go out of town and then do a big recap after I got back in town. And I just decided to combine it all into one because I didn't get the video out on Monday. I just didn't have time, which is fine. I was on vacation. But again, if you are an outdoorsy person, highly recommend going to Maine. It was fantastic. I really wish we had done another week in Bar Harbor. I could have done a whole week there, just hiking and exploring. It was absolutely just... I can't get over how beautiful it was. I know I'm going to really enjoy editing this video and seeing all the pictures and the footage that I took. And yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was a little bit of a weird, all over the place one, but hopefully it was fun and you enjoyed it. And I have another trip coming up at the end of September. We're going to the UK. So there's a little bit more of this to come. I don't know how much I'll be able to get done crocheting on that trip because we're visiting family. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. If you are still hanging out after me running my mouth all of this time. If you've ever been to Maine, or if you have any other vacation destination recommendations that are the same vibe as Maine. I'm thinking there's probably a couple more places in New England that we could go. Colorado's on my list. I've been to Colorado, but it was for school. But yeah, if you have any other vacation destinations that's just like stunning and outdoorsy, I would love to hear them in the comments below. If not, if you were crocheting anything while you were watching, let us know what you were working on. I'm always looking for new projects, so please share. Make sure you hit the like button on the video if you enjoyed watching, and if you made it this far, you might as well also hit the subscribe button. We are going to try to get to 5K by the end of the year. So if you're part of the 40% that watches my videos and you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. It would be greatly appreciated. Anyways, thank you guys again for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, y'all.